Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Co-op Podcast, episode 144. I'm your host, Richard Bailey Jr., and tonight I'm joined by Mr. Gary A. Swaby.
Hey, what's up? Sorry I'm not on camera this week because, I'm not really looking too good. I ain't had a shave yet. I haven't cut my hair yet, so yeah, I had to avoid that this week. But I'm here.
Excuses, man. Excuses.
Well, thanks for making me feel very insecure, Gary, because, I haven't shaved either, but
I haven't shaved in a week either, man. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, there you go. That's good. Yeah. All right, we're also joined by Mr. Charles Singletary. What's up, Charles?
Greetings, gentlemen. It feels like it's been such a long time since I've been back on here. I haven't shaved in a week either, but I got it lined up, so I totally understand, Gary. I'd be hiding too. Plus, you want to hide your face when I'm on the show because you don't want to get destroyed.
Whoa.
Oh, well, we got a versus going down soon, so, I'll see you then.
Yeah. It's definitely going down.
And, of course, we have a special guest tonight, Mr. Tony Polanco.
Hey, everybody. How we doing today in video game land? What's going on?
Oh, yeah, Xbox One. So that's interesting. I wasn't sure that they were selling magazines of Xbox One that you picked up. Yeah. Well, we'll definitely have to discuss that. Okay, so, we have a couple of topics that we're going to get into, but before we do that, I want to, of course, ask everybody what they've been playing. So, Mr. Polanco, how about you go first?
All right. I've been playing a few things. Fallout on PlayStation 4. And some games on the Xbox One, people. I actually bought it. Here's the box right here that it came in. I got the 350 bundle, 1 terabyte. It came with Gears of War, Rare Replay right here. Visual aids, people, Ori and the Blind Forest. And I also copped Tomb Raider, which I started playing today. Excellent game. That bear was fucking hard, man, but I got his ass. So, yeah, man, I guess we'll talk about our Black Friday experience later on, but that's what I've been playing. I've been playing some shit, boy.
Very good, very good. Yes. How about you, Mr. Singletary? What have you been playing?
Well, I just got back into Elite Dangerous, one of the first-person space exploration games, because it went on sale on Black Friday. And I've been talking to a few people, including Gary, that have been planning to get it, but I stopped playing it a while back. But I was like, well, since they're going to get it, I need to step my game up and get back to it. And like, if you look at my Steam account, it says the last 2 weeks you've played Elite Dangerous for 34.7 hours. Well, let me clarify. Those 34.7 hours happened in like the last 2 days. So, because I hadn't been playing it at all before then. But that, I've been playing Rocket League. I've been playing Divinity, which the review for that should go up tomorrow. And I got a couple new games that I'm going to start playing, but we got a topic for that. We'll save that for later. And Star Wars Battlefront. I played it, and I uninstalled that yesterday. But that's another conversation for another day or another moment in this podcast. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, so sounds like the force was not strong with that one. Yeah. How about you, Gary? What you been playing?
I've just been playing Fallout, man. I think I'm like 70 hours or so total in that game now, and I still haven't beat the main story, because I've just been doing side stuff, and I created a new character, after I did the review and stuff, so I'm still just exploring that game, and I've really got into the whole crafting and building stuff. I've kind of started building towers and multi-story buildings and stuff at my base. So yeah, I'm just trying to get creative with it and make the best base possible, pretty much. And I also picked up a couple things on the Steam Black Friday sales. I picked up Elite Dangerous, like Charles alluded to, so hopefully I'll give that a go soon. I think I got to set aside like a whole day or maybe a whole week to play that game. So I'm going to wait until I'm done with Fallout. I got to get that on my system first. And I also bought Life is Strange. which I've been meaning to play for a very long time. So I'll be playing some new stuff in the coming weeks, but for now, I'm just still playing Fallout. It looks like someone just crept in here.
Kill a cat.
Yes, Mr. Anthony Frazier, how you doing?
Let's see if he's gonna talk. Charles, I see your head shaking over there, buddy.
Yeah, it's cool. He jumps in here and then he freezes up when he sees I'm here. I understand. I have that effect on people, man. It's all good.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
There he is.
What's good? What's going on, people? What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on? Let's ask you what's going on. What's new for you?
I just picked up this new book on trolling. This shit is like amazing.
I didn't think you had anything else to learn.
I had a lot of skills I learned from there. I definitely plan on applying some of those skills in the near future. But yeah, no, I'm good, man. Honestly, I've had a really good Thanksgiving, man. So I'm just chilling, man. I didn't do any Black Friday shopping, unfortunately. So that's sad, but it is what it is.
Well, we are going to get into that. Before we get into that, what I've been playing, of course, I've also been playing Tomb Raider. That's pretty much the only game I've been playing.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, that game is fantastic. We'll see what happens. I know Gary had a couple of jokes when he saw Tony's picture of it on Facebook, saying, well, wait a second, what is Uncharted 4 doing out so early? That's okay, Gary. I got something for you. Yeah, Tomb Raider. I also did purchase a game, which I'll talk about, right now, actually, because Black Friday, of course, was yesterday. Wanted to ask you guys if you picked up anything or if you have any funny stories from the whole experience.
Who's going to go first?
Well, let me go ahead and just go first now. Go ahead.
No, I wasn't gonna. I ain't got no story. I just seen a video online of people rushing.
I saw that video too.
Were people rushing over the crock pots? Did you see that?
That video is staged, guys.
There's no way that's staged.
Yes, it
There's
is.
no way that's
the one with the kid where it gets taken by the chick, the white lady, and it's like the black woman and the kid. That video is staged. Yes, I mean we can talk about it after the show, but like it's super staged, dude.
What evidence?
Oh man, because he tried to pull a spin move, and I was like, yo.
Because like just a quick idea. Like when you look at the video again, you look that they had people blocked outside, like they let all the customers in. If you watch the video again, the kid and the mom were already inside. The white woman that took it were already inside as well. And you'll notice that the camera focuses on them. And the kid already had a crock pot when the people ran in. Like you just watch all of that stuff. It's staged.
Okay, because that made me furious, man. I was like, yo, that was a great stage. I mean, definitely had some holes, but as far as like pulling emotions out of people, it definitely pulled some emotion out of me. So congrats on that.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I'll go ahead and go real fast, real quick. I picked up Assassin's Creed Syndicate on PlayStation. At the recommendation of Tony and Gary. So I would like to tell both of you gentlemen that if I am not pleased with this game, I know exactly where you guys are at, and we will have a discussion about that after the fact. But I'm pretty sure that it was a worthy pickup. Also picked up a game that I have talked about very negatively in the past, called Evolve, because it was only $10. So come on, son. I'm pretty sure the game is at least worth $10.
Yeah.
I doubt that.
Oh, you doubt that? Oh, well, hey, we'll see. Hey, people, listen.
Does Evolve even have a community online?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say next. I was very surprised when I signed on. When I signed on to Evolve, it's like a lot of people still playing that game, surprisingly.
Hey, budgets are tight, man. You can't afford another game, so keep playing that.
Yeah, that, but also because it is a hell of a lot cheaper than Star Wars Battlefront. Because I am not paying $60 for that game. But that's another story. Yeah, I mean, as far as the funny story is, I did witness a bit of a fight that took place on Black Friday because everybody likes to rush, and I did just witness an argument between two people at Best Buy over a game, no less. You want to know what game it was? Because you're gonna laugh when I tell you what game it was.
Until
Drive Club.
Dawn.
What?
Drive Club.
What?
Drive Club.
Uh-oh. Was the
Yes.
other person other Zinc,
I
by
was
the
very
way?
surprised. I'm like, come on now, son. This game has been out a long time. What the hell are these people fighting over? I mean, that
Wait,
was
were they fighting to give it back?
no. They had one copy left. Somebody picked it up. Other person, I saw it happen in real time. Came up to them and said, "Well, wait a second. Is that the last copy?" The other person said, "Yeah." Well, how much can I pay you for it? And he said, "No, I want this copy." And they proceeded to argue back and forth. So I was laughing. I'm like, really? Over this game? Ah, that's interesting. I got to try Drive Club to see what all the fuss is about. But Best Buy, I also helped a friend purchase a couple of games because I'm a Best Buy Rewards Unlocked member.
Yep.
And surprisingly, the Best Buy that he purchased the games from, they didn't have the order ready on time. So he was pretty pissed about that. It took them, they sent 2 emails to say, listen, we appreciate your business. We will get the order done as soon as possible. But this is like in the span of 6 hours. He ordered it at 1 o'clock. By 9 o'clock that night, it still wasn't ready. So now eventually he got it today without a problem, but I thought that was absolutely ridiculous. It's like, it only takes a couple of seconds. And the thing is, he was going to go to the store and get the games themselves, but they said if you do that, then they're going to cancel out the order. So I said, no, just wait. So, but I don't know it was that crazy on Black Friday. But that's all my stories for what I witnessed. How about you guys? Who wants to go next?
Yeah, I don't really have any stories, but I do want to give a shout out to frequent guest of this show, Mr. Damian Percival. Now, this is what happened. When I announced that I was going to get an Xbox One, right, he didn't believe me. He was like, if you get an Xbox One, I'm going to buy you a year Xbox Live. I'm like, all right, man, get that money ready. And my man came through. A couple of hours after I posted it online, he was like, here you go, man. So big shout out to Damian. Other than that, I don't really have any stories. I just noticed that GameStop was way more filled up than usual. It was crazy. Probably because of Black Friday, it's just wall-to-wall people. I'm not really used to that. Like, I'm used to like maybe 10 people in the store. This was like good 30. It's just jam-packed, and this was a New York GameStop, so it was small, Yeah. But yeah, I don't really have any stories other than the traffic was terrible. But because it was Black Friday, I guess that's to be expected because the buses still run on weekend schedule, but everybody's rushing out to buy shit, So this is packed ass buses and stuff. But yeah, the only funny stories I have is just the people's reactions. Like, I don't get it. I'm like, did you guys really think I was that much of a fanboy? Like, get the fuck out of here. Why would I not get an Xbox? That makes no sense. Like, it's a video game console, a viable one. I'm not, there's another video game console out there, but I probably won't buy because the people behind it have given up faith. You know who I'm talking about.
No, you got to get that. You got to buy that.
Yeah, but Xbox One is cool, man. So I'm pretty happy with it. Anthony, I know you might be surprised to hear that.
No, I mean, it is what it is. We love the game. That's it, man. Honestly, man, I've said this plenty of times, but it goes over people's heads who listen to the show. But I mean, honestly, I feel like that's the best position to be in. You know what I mean? And I say the things I say because at the end of the day, I just love playing games that really don't matter to me. You know what I mean? And so I've said this plenty of times, but nobody hears that.
No,
cool.
Yeah, you know how it is, man. People have selective hearing, man.
Yes, they do.
No, I mean, people like controversy. That's what it is, and I'm gonna give it to them, man. I'm gonna give you that controversy. That's all it is.
That's what sells, right?
Yeah.
Man.
Well,
I mean, besides that, congrats on your new Xbox One. You can try out the streaming, and you can try out all the new features that'll be on the PS4 later this year.
Whoa. Yeah, threw that little extra comment in there. I like to make a quick comment as well. Also want to give a shout out to Damian, because he actually backed up his word, unlike someone else that
Yeah.
we will deal with at a later time. You know who you are. I'm not going to give you a shout out. You know who you are, son. So yeah.
Oh,
Um,
Yeah.
that person didn't do that month of silence thing.
Uh huh. We
No,
should really
I,
really
Yo,
enforce that
Uncle
shit. I'm
Zink,
just saying.
Uncle Zink, man, you my dude, man. You cool, but you gotta hold your word, man. And if you don't, man, they gonna have to ban you, bro. You know what I mean? For a month, man. So just go on your own accord. You know what I mean? And then come back
Look, man.
refreshed, stronger. You know what I mean? You're gonna come back stronger, ready to fight, man. You know what I mean? Just think about it like you're going into the hyper chamber and all that shit, in DBZ or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you just go on the train, that's it. Come back stronger, B. You know what I mean? But you gotta go.
Hey, I can't say that I'm surprised that a person whose statement didn't hold much weight didn't keep his word at the end of the day. So,
mhm.
it's part for the course as far as his interaction has been.
Yeah, it's like, hey, listen, you don't, back up your word. We'll have to enforce shit that you were supposed to enforce. Just saying.
Yeah, this is true. So how about you, Mr. Singletary? Any Black Friday deals,
Uh,
stories?
definitely capitalized on some deals all across the board. I bought some DLC for Company of Heroes on Steam that was cheap. I bought Wolfenstein New Blood on PSN on that flash sale. And when I got off work, I actually went by Best Buy to pick up Evolve for $11. And just like I told you before, when this game dropped, I said I was gonna buy it on Black Friday, The Witcher 3.
Yes.
And we kind of alluded to it earlier. And the thing with Evolve is going to be the same thing with a lot of these games that are similar to it. This game is not a bad game. It was never a bad game. Star Wars Battlefront is not a bad game. Rainbow Six will not be a bad game. But they are not $60 fucking games is the problem. They don't have that amount of value in them from Jump Street to get them. And when Evolve came out, I watched the gameplay for it. I was like, yo, this is dope. I've seen people play it. I've watched streams. Shouts out to Pikachu Lita on Twitter. She's been streaming it since it came out, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get this when it's less than $20 because that's how I feel I would, enjoy it. And as soon as I saw that sale for $11, I went and grabbed it. The Witcher, I would have grabbed that if it was like $30 or whatever, but I caught it at a good deal. But yeah, those are the only deals that I got. When I went to the store, I got off work at like 10 and I didn't get to the store till 11. It was still pretty packed out, but it was pretty cordial at my store. There weren't any arguments or anything. Everybody seemed to be pretty chill. Just had all these lines all over the place. Everybody was happy, got their stuff, got out the store. They actually had a whole lot of the stock of everything. It wasn't very limited like it has been in the past. So it's a good time.
That's good. How about you, Gary?
Well, now besides those games I copped on Steam, Black Friday came around on the wrong Friday because I'm kind of broke right now, to be honest with you. I don't get paid till next week, so I couldn't go too crazy. Damian, buy me an Xbox now. Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to have got an Xbox, but it's not great timing right now.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off of that, I did see a deal in the UK that was a killer deal for Xbox, where they were giving away 4 games, all for the same price. Yeah, but that's okay. You'll get it when you absolutely need it. So yes, Tony Polanco has left the show because he is going to go play some more Xbox. You can get more of his impressions on the Throwdown.
Oh dang! I didn't know Tony had to leave that quick.
Oh yeah, he said he was right in the middle of Tomb Raider when we started this show, so it's understood. So let's go ahead and let's move on to the first topic of today's show. we're going to talk about games with gold in PlayStation Plus. So, Gary's question is, are you actually satisfied with the games that are offered on PlayStation Plus in gold, in games with gold? And do you actually download the games every month? Now, Gary, when you ask this question, are you talking specifically about December, or are you talking about the year in review? Are we happy with the games they've released so far this year?
Well, we can talk about December, but I guess I'm kind of asking it as like a year in review kind of thing, like your opinions on how the services have been delivering in terms of the variation of games this year.
Okay.
So
Okay, so who wants to go first? I do have some things to say, but if anybody wants to go first, be my guest.
I mean,
I'll jump in.
okay.
Okay.
I appreciate the stuff that comes out on both. I don't have an Xbox, but I do keep up with the games that come out for the most part. And y'all know I love when independent things or those under the radar things get a bit of the shine, which is not always those types of games that come out on PlayStation Plus and Games for Gold, but most often that's what it is. And I'd like to point out one of the most impressive stories I feel is Rocket League. That game has blown up like no other since it was on PlayStation Plus. And I mean, people have gone into buying it. They keep releasing new content for it. It's a lot of fun. People can get so get that tunnel vision when it comes to like the big budget marketing, everything flashing on TV, the commercials, the ads on the different websites, that they miss out on a lot of stuff. And Rocket League was one of those games that people were going to miss out on, but people got their hands on it. Word traveled by word of mouth, and it became like a cult hit. So much that is nominated for one of the best sports/racing games for the year. So, I like both of these formats, and I appreciate what they do. I don't like the people that kind of detract away from that, like EA Access, but it's whatever, man. These are good programs to have. Like at this point, with the way these games are connected, they could have just charged us to be online and not given us any games at all, and we just had to take that because everybody has to play. There are some games that just don't work on offline at all. But they decided to back it up with a few things to give it some value. It's going to be very subjective, for everyone to say whether they feel that value is there for them individually. But overall, I think it's pretty stout.
Very good points. Gary, you have any thoughts?
Yeah. Now, me personally, I can't even really remember downloading and playing and beating any of those PlayStation Plus games besides Infamous First Light, which was in January, I believe, and Rocket League. I played that extensively as well. So I mean, I think this is more of a problem with me personally than it is with the service. I mean, like Charles said, it's great that both services, Xbox Live and PSN Plus, are, they're offering you games that you might not have ever had access to otherwise. You might like if Rocket League came out as like a full price game that you had to buy and you didn't get it for free or anything included with the service, then a lot of people probably wouldn't have played that game. So for the discoverability aspect, I think the services are great. But I mean, for someone like me, it's a little bit like I see the games that are on offer every month, and I'm like, man, I don't care. But I think that's just a problem with me personally. I think the services offer great value, but I feel like for me personally, I'm really just paying for the service out of support and just so that I have access to play games online more than anything else. So, but that's just my personal take on it.
Well, yeah, sounds good. I do agree that I think that it offers a good value for both. I'm not particularly too happy with some of the Xbox One offerings because I think that games like Rise, Son of Rome, and Dead Rising 3 should have already been offered. But I guess for the most part, it is what it is. It is a free game. And the fact that now the 360 games are backwards compatible on the Xbox One and work, that should be pretty good, depending upon what the choices are. But I think that both, again, if you want to get free games, I mean, it is what it is. Like was already said, some games that you probably never got a chance to play or were interested in. Take, for example, The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing. That's going to be available on Xbox One for free next month. That's a game I was interested in getting. I don't have a gaming PC, so I'll definitely download that. And then, by comparison, Walking Dead Season 2 is now free on PSN. So, great games overall. So, I mean, I just think, again, of course there can be improvements on both other games you want to see that may not be quite there, but I think, again, as far as being a free product service, I have no real major complaints. They are free games, so to speak. You have anything to add, Anthony?
We might have to repeat the question for him. I'm not sure if he.
I was just listening, like, oh, no, my bad, people. I stepped away from the computer for a moment, but I'm back.
Oh yeah, no. Well, we were just asking, are you satisfied with the games that they have been offering on Games with Gold and PlayStation Plus so far this year?
I think Games with Gold sucks. About it, yeah.
Well, hey, like I said before, there's a lot of games I'm waiting for them to add that they haven't added yet. I don't know why they haven't. But hopefully they do add that at some point.
They're gonna add it when it doesn't matter anymore. Like when it's far removed from mattering, And so, I mean, that's how it's working for them. I mean, honestly, they know that they got a suck ass lineup. Like it's not really like a secret, and I think that thank God for social media because now a lot of these companies don't really have an excuse. Like they hear from the fans directly. Like Phil Spencer's always on Twitter. Replying to the fans, and he sees what people say. So it's not really like, oh, we didn't know. Like, yo, your lineup sucks. I'm pretty sure there's some very vocal fans who telling them that it sucks. The fact that they're not changing it, I'm really not sure, like, what prevents a company from changing it. I mean, a lot of people like to play politics. Maybe that's the reason why, but I really don't know. I mean, honestly, I just think it's they need to step it up in 2016, no doubt.
Wait, I got another question though. Like, do you guys think that, our opinion on the games that are offered with these services are, a little bit tainted because of the positions that we're in? Because, we're kind of sort of on the inside, because we run the site and
Nah, man.
Nope. I mean, I feel like it's that way for me because, like, for me, I feel like I'm spoiled as a gamer because I've got like so many games. I've got a huge backlog. I get games sent to me, and I got a lot of access to games basically. But for the average consumer, they might not always have the latest game to play. So I
will say this. Like one thing I've noticed in the years of covering games and stuff is that sometimes the average consumer, they're not as critical as people online are, like people who do websites are. Like I mean, I remember being on the bus and hearing a bunch of dudes talking about the latest games, and they were talking about, oh yo, you saw that NBA 2K that came out, and they were just talking about like just other games and shit, and they were just hyped about trash games, and it was just like not saying 2K trash, but just other titles that was out. It was just like a bunch of trash, and it was just like super hyped. And my thing is like, yeah, it's trash in my eyes because I'm looking at it from a real critical point of view versus people who just approaching it strictly just to have fun. And to be honest with you, I was sort of envious in a way because it was a time where we were playing games. I know you guys can admit where you wasn't really looking at games from a critical eye. You were probably like having fun. Some of the best games we probably had the most fun on in the past were probably games that reviewed bad, yeah, to be honest with you. But, you know, it was fun. And I kind of envy those dudes in some ways.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, as far as what I think about it, yeah, I don't think it's well. I don't know if it's tainted. I don't know if I would say that much. Um, I mean, again, I don't have a problem with either lineup. I do think that one is weaker than the other, and again, the Xbox offerings probably not as good as they should be, but still, there is always a chance to improve for both sides if they need to. But I don't really think that it's that bad now for either.
You also got to think about what price are they paying for those games. Like, you know, for to have, you know, these games and these really great titles, you know, what price has to be paid to get those, right? I don't know what that is. You know, we got to take that into account. Maybe it's a price that Microsoft just isn't willing to pay, at least not at the moment. And I'm talking about third party games more so than first party. So.
Yes, good point. We have another guest that has joined in, Mr. Michael A.
Oh, you didn't have to announce me. I was just here to listen. Honestly, I was here for the front row view of the throwdown, essentially. You know, what's good, people? Though, hey, how's everyone? Hopefully, everyone had a good Thanksgiving holiday and is enjoying a good Cyber Monday, Black Friday weekend. So, yeah.
Oh yeah.
This nigga Swift said he's thankful for Final Fantasy, man. That's what he said at the Thanksgiving table.
Well, who said that?
Wow.
Swift.
Yeah, Swift.
Final Fantasy.
Cool for that.
That's ridiculous.
That's what Gary's thankful for. Yeah. Well, no, since you're here, Michael A., just was going to ask you a very quick question. Are you satisfied with the PlayStation Plus and Xbox Games with Goals offering so far this year?
I mean, personally, I think they both had their up and downs. I think overall they've been solid. I wouldn't really call out either one of them. Yeah, I don't know, like legitimately, yeah. I think Games with Gold has improved now, especially with the backwards compatibility, because now I mean, you're getting double the games you were before. PS Now has PS Now or PS Plus, excuse me, has been doing that for a while already. So it's not like Sony needed to really catch up. So like they've been offering PS3 games already. It's just that you have to have a PS3 to play them and so on and so forth. But I mean, there have been some good games on there. There have been some gems. There's some games on there. Both systems have had months where the games they were offering, people were like, "This is garbage. Not really interested." So I couldn't really compare. I don't know. I might give the edge to PlayStation actually, because there's been more months. Like Microsoft they're more hit or miss with theirs. Like it's either fire or just hot trash. You know, there's no middle ground with them. Whereas the PlayStation, it's just, you know, even when they're off the mark, it's not that bad. Because there've been some months with Microsoft where I'm like, nobody's downloading these games. You know that. Like why? You know, like really? Hexic, that's what you're giving away? I'm not saying they gave away Hexic. It would be something of that quality, that a game that no one's even heard of or was going to play. You know, so. And on PlayStation, at least, I can say there's been some times where they've given away games that I didn't hear of, and I played them, and they ended up being solid titles. So I might give the edge to PlayStation, but it's pretty close, pretty much neck and neck right now. So I know this much. I know November, Microsoft's games with Gold were good games for me. Surprisingly, the 360 game titles were really what sold it for me. Getting Dirt 3, and then now I've been playing Dragon Siege 3 a lot. I mean, those are two good games for me. So
Definitely. Well, very good points from pretty much everybody, all across the board. We'll see what we can get from both services in 2016. But we already know December lineup is already out there. So
let me add one thing. Microsoft, stop being cheap. Give us Rise.
Yes.
People have been asking you for Rise for a hot minute. You've given us the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. You've given us Forza 5. Why can't we get Rise? It's mind-boggling to me
Rise, I
because I
mean, Rise
know
might,
because I
Rise
know
might be the better pick. Though.
I'm
Like
just
a little.
okay. For me, like I haven't bought Rise yet. I've played it before I got my Xbox on my friend's Xbox. Then I got my Xbox, and there was every time I was going to go to the store and buy it, I'm like, no, because if I buy this, they're gonna make it a Games with Gold game. And I know, like, I guarantee you, like, if I go buy Rise today, it'll be free the next month. I don't want that to happen. I will hate them for that. So they need to stop BSing and just give us Rise. You know, people have been asking for it. I think it's a quality game, and I mean, it'd be a good for people to experience it. A lot of people probably waited on it, so
Let me ask
I
you a
don't know.
question. Let me ask you a
Oh, sorry.
question. How big is the digital file for Rise?
I have no idea actually. I'm gonna go ahead and guess. It was a launch game. I'm gonna say 30 to 40 gigs.
Maybe that has something to do with it, right? Maybe they just don't, want to give away something free massively that's so huge. I mean, I know that's a reach, but could be part of it.
Yeah, it's possible.
Well, it is possible. I will say though, to end off this topic, I do agree, Michael A. That's what I had said in the beginning about Rise, and it would have been a perfect time to drop it now because
Hmm.
when they drop that dashboard update, it's like it's a new system. So these were launch games they had at launch that a lot of people probably never picked up. So it would have been good to drop Rise and Dead Rising 3. But I guess you have to wait to 2016 to play those for free. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Let's move on to the next topic. Gary, again with this topic, it was announced that PlayStation Remote Play app is coming to Mac and PC. So, according to Mr. Anthony Frazier, does this mean that Sony is copying once again? This is the question that
Oh,
you asked. So go ahead and answer the question, Gary and Anthony, since you brought this question to our attention.
You want to go first, Cap? Or?
I mean, I said what I had to say, man. You know what I mean? Look. At the end of the day, you know, one copies the other copies this one. My comments on that controversial show still stands because what I was saying was that, a lot of what PlayStation is doing now is a lot of the moves that third party Xbox 360 was doing then, right? And so like when it was in the lead, when it was dominating, they did a lot of cool, things. And so and now, that Xbox isn't really so much in the lead, but they're still making really good decisions. Like, you got to give it to them. Like, they're not in the lead, but a lot of what they're doing is really cool, like, decisions. The thing is, when you look at the Xbox trajectory of what they plan to do with the Xbox, they stayed on point. Like, there was even documents that leaked that talked about the trajectory, what Xbox and Microsoft plan to do with that brand from right now till like 20 whatever, right? And so they stayed on point. Streaming was actually part of that. Streaming to that Windows 10, doing a lot of like all that was all part of the plan. This is all months in planning, already done. Now I'm not saying that PlayStation can't make a feature better. Apple does this shit all the time, copy and make some shit better. I said that on the other show too. People don't listen to that part though. Y'all remember that when I said, yo, they could take a feature and make it better. I said that too. But at the same time, I think Xbox is PlayStation's biggest inspiration, yeah. And that's it. That's it. Like, I mean, who's the arguing with that? Like, is that a bad thing? Come on. Is that really a bad thing? Like, who would get offended by that? Like, yo, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, competition is always good for business. Um, Gary, you have something to say?
Yeah, as far as the remote play app, I mean, I know previously they had remote play on Vita, but this is completely different. And in terms of, would they do this if Microsoft didn't do it on Windows 10? I I don't think they would because
No, they wouldn't.
previously, Sony, they haven't really been that interested in PC and, computer platforms. I mean, they cut off Sony computer. I mean, no, what was that? Sony Online Entertainment, whatever. The I can't remember the name, but that company that used to make the MMOs and stuff, they completely cut them.
SOE.
Yeah, SOE. Yeah, they completely cut them off. So I mean, like Sony, they haven't really shown that much interest. They don't release their exclusives on platforms or anything. But I feel like this is a way to kind of offer that because they know that this is something that Microsoft offers, and they have to kind of match that. Same thing with backwards compatibility. Now we're hearing that Sony's gonna offer backwards compatibility in some form. So I feel like, and the fact that they're offering this remote play on Mac, that's a benefit right there because I don't think Microsoft does that, do they? Because, that's like their biggest rival. So, you know, Sony are going to offer this on Mac and PC. So that's kind of a big deal for them because, like, you know, it's going to be on Mac. So I feel like, they were inspired by Microsoft to do this, even though they already had it on the Vita. But I mean, who still has a Vita? Like, not everyone uses their Vita anymore. So I
Oh
mean, I
God,
guess this is the next step for them. This is like the next evolution to get that PlayStation brand out there and to more users' hands and everything. So they need to spread that Sony brand across all platforms.
Uh-oh.
I mean, as far as the Microsoft doing things on PC, oh no, that bad Charles about to spit that either.
Yeah, Charles, he's making faces
Charles's
over there.
face, dude. I'm like, this man looks like somebody is just stabbing him in the heart right now. Like he's in disbelief. Like I'm just waiting. Go ahead, Charles.
I just got questions, man. I just got questions, bro.
Drop the mix.
Because I mean, Fraser dropped that knowledge about the little joke about getting the book on trolling, and I shouted you out last time I was on the show. You have a gift for trolling people when things needed. You have a gift for it, and that's what you're doing with this whole copying thing. It's like you just went straight heel and you're running it straight into the ground. I feel you, dog. It's working. But I got a question for Gary first. You said Sony did not have interest in PC games, and then right after that, you was like, and then they just recently shut down SOE. SOE is them having interest in PC games before all of this stuff that came on now. That wasn't like a short term.
That was the one thing they had, and then they cut it off.
Do you realize that one thing had many games with it? It didn't just start with PS4. It was on PS3 as well. Shit, I think there was some SOE games on PS2, as a matter of fact, when you had the little bootleg hard drive that you had to buy to make those games work at that point. So that's not like the crossplay stuff. All right, we can reach back with all of these little things: online implementation, remote play, crossplay. Because with Sony crossplay, you could crossplay on PC before. As a matter of fact, I don't know if anyone remembers, but Final Fantasy XI cross-played all three: Xbox 360, PS2, and PC. And then for some reason, Microsoft didn't have that as much. They had it with the little game that they were remaking, but then they canceled it again. I can't remember the name of it.
The RPG?
Yeah, like the little it was third person.
Yeah,
the little third-person action game. I think that had cross-play with PC, but they didn't implement everything else.
I think it was called Shadowfall or Shadowrun or something like that. That was cross-play as well. That was multiplayer. Yeah. There you go.
That's the one I was thinking of.
They had that, and they had that RPG that they canceled. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a couple games like that. Sony built a model. They had people that only played those games with cross-play with PC. I played crossplay Final Fantasy 11 with my friends. I played 14 crossplay with my friends. That's not the crossplay aspect is not a reaction. Like a lot of this business stuff is not necessarily reactions in the way that y'all want them to seem to feed the console war. But I respect it because you're good at trolling people.
Wait, can I
go ahead?
All that?
Yes.
Okay, my point was, right, that, like, it wasn't a focus for them. Like, yeah, they might have had, little thing. They might have had little PC miniature features here and there when they needed to implement it, but it wasn't a focus, and it wasn't, like, a bragging point for them. Like, they would never come out at, like, a Sony experience or a presentation and talk about that. The only time they might have done that is when PlanetSide 2 was coming to PS3 or PS4 or something. That might be the only time they ever mentioned an SOE game at like a Sony conference or something. Like,
They mentioned
because it
DC
wasn't
Universe
it
on
wasn't
stage
something
before.
that they pushed with the brand. Like, it was just something on the side that they offered, kind of thing. But now, with this remote play, it's like a big deal. Or with
But the thing is, what do you mean by big deal? They're not the ones making a big deal about it. We are. Like the people that are on these websites and stuff.
so are
We're
they not
making
going
it
to
a
talk
big deal
about
and
it
making
at
the
PlayStation
comparison.
Experience?
Will they? Like all the games that they're going to talk about, you think that they're going to take like this whole section out just to talk about that?
They're going to say it as like an extra perk. Like, they're going to
I
bring it
would
up.
honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if they mentioned it in PlayStation Experience. I'm not saying that they're going to. Like, I mean, if they're smart, they wouldn't, because they should just focus on the games. I think Microsoft could take a note from that. Sometimes they go a little bit too deep on features as well. Sony does a better job just focusing on games at times. But I mean, we have seen them in the past mention features and sales numbers and stuff like that. If they're
Yeah,
doing well, why not come out and say, yeah, we're going to be focusing a little bit more on this new feature where you can remote play your games elsewhere. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked.
I mean, like, there's
Because
going to be
like the
three.
only thing that's really redeeming for them is the part that the Mac thing that you mentioned, which I actually didn't even know about that. And
That's actually
that
a good
could
move
be
on their part.
yeah, that's a big deal
It's a big
for
deal.
them because the Mac doesn't get a lot of support from a lot of popular
Shoot,
games.
Steam doesn't even support Mac properly still. So I mean, that'd be huge for them.
Yeah.
But like the way that y'all phrase these things is like Sony just like Sony and Microsoft, Nintendo, whoever, y'all act like, man, they just be sitting there and somebody on the website say something about a feature and they're like, oh shit, we got to drop and do this shit like right now. It takes time to put these things in place.
It
Like,
does, but I mean, in all honesty, and I'm not saying it's just Sony and Microsoft that does it, because let's keep it 100. They both copied each other. They've copied Nintendo, and Nintendo is slowly but surely realizing they need to start copying them. Some of these things, like there'll be a feature, like okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Why? Like, there's a reason we haven't heard a lot about PS Now right now, because they were going to probably talk about that at that conference. They saw like Microsoft's conference. They saw them drop that Xbox backwards compatibility. Wouldn't be
That's an
smart to leave
automatic
that alone.
L. Yeah, it was an automatic
So
L. Huge.
you know what I mean? But that's I'm not bringing that up to like say it was an L. Now I'm bringing it up to show the point that like that's an announcement that influenced Sony and how they were going to speak at the conference. There's no way they just weren't going to talk about PS Now anymore. You know what I mean?
I recognize that, but the thing is, my issue is how it's being phrased by people like Frazier. Is that the whole the leaning so heavily on the console war copying thing? It's a business, and these people want to be in first place, so they're going to do what they need to do to get in first place. For example, I could take the complete opposite stance and start trolling people. It was like, well, Microsoft came out at E3 and said all this, and then took that L and copied Sony. They didn't copy Sony. They retracted because they fucked up and their fans didn't want that. They knew what they wanted at that point, so they switched it up, and it just happened to be what Sony has because Sony made the smart decision from Jump Street. It's not you can't just phrase everything as, hey, this person's copying this. Hey, this person's copying that. It's a business, and they want to make money. So when their fans have an issue or they see a better feature somewhere, that's it's going to come. It's with cell phones. It's the same thing. Shit, Apple has no shame.
I think
Yeah, so let me hop in real quick. You know what I mean? Let me hop in real quick. I think we need to take away the word copying and put in the word inspired. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like, I think it's the word copying that's getting people.
Maybe that copy word is a little too harsh. You know what I mean? And then the other thing is, I mean, they are inspired, right? And so I'm not necessarily saying it to say that I know that there's business behind it. I'm also saying it as a reaction to the way people are talking in the comments or online. So I'm not necessarily making a statement to say that, yo, they doing this, that, and the third, they copying, but more so like, let's not act like this brand can't lose or this brand can't be inspired by something else. You know what I mean? And so that's the reason why I say those things, not necessarily to super duper troll, but like everybody is imperfect, and a lot of times, like not you, but a lot of people online, maybe it is. I don't know if it's you, but a lot of people online feel like the PlayStation brand is perfect, and it's not. You know what I mean?
He's not lying about that.
And
He is not
Microsoft
lying
ain't,
about that.
and Microsoft ain't perfect either. I ain't claiming that either. I'm definitely not claiming that. You just heard me say Microsoft don't rock shit in the beginning of the show. So I feel like, that's the reason why I say a lot of those things, it's a reality check. But at the same time, I mean, if the way I phrase something, you can call me out on it. I say that every show. I said that last show. You know what I mean? So I'm here to be humble. Yeah.
I'm not going to backtrack. I still say copying is adequate because that's what they're doing. They're copying. I mean, I don't see it as a bad thing. Like, it would be stupid of Sony to not copy like things that they easily can do, and they see other people doing. It'd be stupid if Microsoft not to. It'd be stupid if Nintendo do it.
Just like I said, my issue was how they phrased it and the obvious trolling. Because in this instance, if we were to use copying, when Microsoft announced that they were doing backwards compatibility, and if I would have worked for Sony, I would have been like, if we delete the PlayStation Now app, do you think anybody will notice? Like,
okay. I don't know. I don't know that I would. I'm not going to say that. That's a bit much. They might rebrand PlayStation now.
My PlayStation, I cut it on a Wednesday and it's updating. What happened? What? PlayStation Now just gone?
Like when they updated PS4 and all they did was remove Linux support. You're like, wait, what? How's that an update? I'm losing something.
The whole section gone.
But I would say
the PS2 disc in, and all of a sudden it started working. They just it makes sense like that. Microsoft, and I mean, in a way, if you want to troll and phrase it a certain way, you can be like, okay, so PlayStation announced PS Now, Microsoft copied them, but did it in a better way by actually bringing the backwards compatibility that no one thought they would.
Adequate.
You can phrase anything like that, but the thing is, the point is, Microsoft was behind in that instance. They did something fantastic. Like whoever it is, the head guy for Microsoft now. I know y'all giving him a lot of props. Phil Spencer, yeah, because he's done nothing but great things for Microsoft since
I agree. He's kept it 100.
Got into that position. And
he's
something
been completely
like that,
transparent. Yeah.
Yeah, like something like that. To do that with the backwards compatibility, be completely quiet about it, and then boom, just drop that on there. When PlayStation probably was going to talk about PS Now, we know they got rid of that shit at E3. Like, we need somebody to spend like about 5-10 more minutes on stage because we're not talking about PS Now on stage anymore. Y'all know that went down backstage.
Is that why we had to watch Dreams?
Probably. That's probably why that sequence was so long.
Yeah,
you can hate. Look,
that was a little weird. That was a little weird. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm like, we can move on, Sony. I'm not really with this.
Somebody had a PowerPoint presentation for PS Now. It was real hurt backstage.
I cut out the show. I'm like, well, I just spent 4 months of my life for nothing. Thank you, Microsoft. Man. I don't know. Personally, I think the only people that get mad about what Cap said is fanboys. That's why I'm like, even though it's trolling, I mean, there's truth in it. And the only people taking it the wrong way would be fanboys. You're taking it in a way because you know how fanboys are going to react, because you know how fanboys are, because you've been reacting or interacting with them, so you know how they're going to react to it. And that's my point. Like, I hear what Cap says, and I didn't necessarily hear him saying, "Oh, Microsoft's the greatest." That's what they hear though. Like, "Oh, he's what Sony isn't the goddamn god," as Torrance would say. Oh, clearly there's an attack on Sony. Sony defense unite. Like, that's how a lot of people reacted when Cap says what he says, and it's really sad. I don't get why.
PlayStation, they're becoming, what Xbox 360 was last generation, or already is, not even becoming, right? So, yeah. I mean, it'd be smart to kind of be, like, so what are these niggas gonna do next? Okay, we need to snatch that up before they get hot with it. Like, for real, let me snatch up what they about to do before they get hot with it. Like, let me. I said that. It's really nothing wrong with that. Like, I said that last episode. I'm gonna say it now. Like, it's a smart thing to do. It's business at the end of the day. You just said it. And so, I mean, it is what it is. People just hate to hear me say they got it from somewhere else. That's what it is. Like that, they just hate to hear like, yo, they got it. But it ain't even Microsoft. You can borrow from anybody, right? Nintendo, whatever. Like they got it from somebody, and Microsoft gets shit from people too. Like it is what it is. Like you said, it happens in business.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you got to look at the situation, and I think Sony are kind of feeling the pressure right now because, like, November is undeniably going to be an Xbox month with Black Friday. You know, that just went down. I'm sure.
Wait, hold on a second. Wait, hold on.
How is that so?
Yeah. How is it undeniably Microsoft's month?
Man, like Tomb Raider, like you got Halo. Come on, man. Like you got all these.
Yeah, I ain't seen one Tomb Raider ad since I've been there. No, Tomb Raider. Don't get me wrong. This is not me calling it a whack game. This is not me calling that. People don't get on my ass about that. But I'm just saying that Tomb Raider is not gonna be the game. You know, it's not a lot of Tonys out here. You know, Tomb Raider is not gonna be the game that sells a bunch of consoles. Not to me.
I don't think it's going to sell a bunch.
I think it's going to be the Halo leftovers, man.
Yeah, I think people are buying it now. I mean, it's probably going to undersell just based on when it was released. And honestly, I don't think Microsoft did a really good job marketing it, which is shocking for them.
That was a bad decision to release that the same day as Fallout.
Yeah,
I still think that.
Even though, in my opinion, I still think that it's a far better game because I don't even want to play Fallout anymore. So
I got a small little theory, man. I think Microsoft's marketing budget has been drastically cut because if you think about how big of a marketing push they had for a lot of the titles and a lot of the things that they were doing in the 360 era, if you look now, a lot of that shit has been pulled back, even during the launch of Xbox One. I'm not even talking about now that they like losing. I'm talking about even at the beginning of the generation, it just seemed like they just weren't pushing as hard as they used to be. I think they've been cut. And I don't think
you know, Sony has the advertising house that Microsoft used to have, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they do.
They swapped. Yeah, that's why I 100% agreed with him when he was saying they're copying. I swear, these fools just copy from each other, win or lose. It doesn't make any sense. Because when I look at marketing, when I look at how Sony is running this gen, I'm like, are you kidding me? They are actually doing a better job at being an Xbox 360 than Microsoft is. Even in the hardware features, they have more features that the 360 had on the PS4 than the Xbox One. That doesn't make any fucking sense. but it is what it is. And honestly, while I agree that Microsoft is going to win November, I don't think Sony cares. They've got 30 million consoles in the world right now, and even they don't know how. They're like, we're speechless. We don't know why these fools are buying it. Thanks. Thanks for the money. November's not going to bother them. They know the next year their games are coming. They already have the consoles on the market, so they're just going to sell even more next year. Microsoft can have this holiday season. They don't care.
He has a point. It's like if you win like 2 months out of the year, the other guy still won up in the other 10 months. So
he won the other 10 months. Like, rats. Wow, you got 2 million. That's nice. We're at 30 million. Where are you at, Microsoft?
Yeah.
Well, hold on a second, because we're gonna get into the next topic. But let me just say this real quick. I don't think it's a guarantee that Microsoft is going to win November because there was a Black Friday sale that had PlayStation 4 and Xbox One $299 each. Not to mention that, as you just said, the marketing for Star Wars. Every person I know, hey, that's a PlayStation 4 game, right?
True.
They don't even know that the game is on Xbox One. So I think that, I don't think it's an undeniable guarantee Microsoft is going to win November. I mean, we'll know in a couple of weeks, but I don't think it's a guarantee they're going to win that.
The only reason I say that it was a guarantee is because the amount of deals and bundles and Xboxes. Yeah. The fact that honestly, there's more people with PlayStation, so a lot of them might be like a Tony, where they're considering, let me try this other system. Let me see what games I've been missing out on. It's cheap as hell to get now. Let me try. I know a couple cats who got PS4s as well, who only had Xboxes. So there's some overlap. But I think more people are buying Xboxes this holiday season because more people don't have them that are into gaming. So it's like, if I don't have the system, there's some exclusive experiences there, and it's cheap as hell, and there's all these bundles they're giving away. Why not get it? Like, so I don't know. I think it'll pretty much be Microsoft. I could be wrong. I'm not Phil Spencer, or not Phil Spencer. Who's that? Who's that dude that makes the predictions?
Pachter.
I can't remember.
Michael
I'm not
Pachter.
Michael Pachter. I mean, I'm not 100% correct when I get. Well, he isn't either, actually. Whatever. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, these are good points. Well, since you mentioned it, as Gary said, we're going to talk about it's confirmed the PlayStation 4 sales have surpassed 30 million. So, any thoughts on that?
I mean, what did you expect? I mean, the Sony momentum has just been rolling all year, man. It wasn't just gonna come to a dead end.
I mean, I got a reaction to that. I just want to congratulate Michael Jackson.
Oh, geez. Who? Michael Jackson. Oh, yeah. Doesn't he own like half of Sony?
What, his corpse? What?
No, I guess his family now. He was like a huge shareholder of Sony.
Yeah, he is. I think that's just the music, though. Definitely. Congrats to Microsoft for being such a great father, and
Wow.
This is a proud dad moment right here.
Ah, interesting.
Oh, I can't wait to hear the comments.
Are there any other reactions to this news?
Now, congrats to them. Like, I want to finish saying what I was going to say because
go ahead.
With the whole Black Friday thing. I know Tony's posted that article now, so I mean that's just Best Buy though, so we don't know like the total on that. But the link that Tony posted was PS4 was the highest earning product at Best Buy on Black Friday. But I still think that the Xbox would have won November. That's just my guess.
Wow.
Maybe I'll be proved wrong next, when the MPDs come out. But that's just my guess. And I only brought that up to say that Sony, they're kind of sort of feeling the pressure a little bit. Like their exclusive lineup hasn't been great thus far. So they're forced to match Microsoft every move they make. They have.
Let me make.
Whoa.
I got something so real quick. Can you really feel pressure? I'm sorry. Can you really feel pressure if you're like 15 million consoles ahead?
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about?
If I'm 15 million in the league with less games, why would I care?
Yeah.
I'm spending less money on games. I'm putting less effort in, and I'm outselling the competition. I don't feel pressure. I feel great. I'm sleeping on a bed of money.
Yeah. I mean, look, hey, real talk. Okay, in the way, if you put it this way, like, okay, I'm like 260 pounds. Maybe it's like a little pebble in my shoe that's really annoying me. I feel that pressure in my foot. Then I can feel that kind of pressure. That's the kind of pressure that Sony might be feeling from Microsoft. But y'all gonna get off this first party exclusive thing because while yes, they maintain the lead without those exclusives, these games that don't exist on PS4. Now they're getting into like their strongest run going into the next year and a half.
Yeah.
Do we know what Microsoft is at?
I have to agree, man. I think Swift, man. I think you might be a little off, man, because the thing is, I gotta agree, man. I gotta be honest, man. Like, look, they killing these dudes. Like right now, Microsoft. If anybody's feeling pressure, it's Microsoft, and the reason why. Is Microsoft feeling the pressure because their killer app didn't do shit, and so Sony's continued to dominate despite anything. I mean, I know they won a month, but what is winning a month? Like, what is that? It doesn't really mean anything anymore. It don't mean shit anymore. Like, what is?
I feel like people are looking at what's going on now and not looking at the future. Like Sony are just kind of coasting by, and Microsoft is actually like working hard to, build up to that spot again.
Well, no,
they're actually putting things in place and being kind of future.
I'm not denying that, but this is what I'm saying. Microsoft needs a game or games, right? They need these games. Like, you could arguably say that they released some really great titles, right? Yes. Like, we played some really good exclusives so far. But none of them have really moved the needle yet to really, like, define them this generation, yeah? And I'm afraid that they might not ever have that title, to be honest with you. I mean, I could be wrong, but it might be too late at this point, right, for them to ever really... make a dent the way they did with the 360. I think that's over. I
I mean,
think
that's what Phil Spencer said. So
Yeah.
he actually works
Yeah.
there. So I'm gonna trust him.
I mean, I will give you a point in, the fact that I think this generation, third party has been where it's at. There hasn't been like a
Yeah.
standout exclusive title on either platform.
either platform. Yep.
So
Either
third
platform.
party is where it's at. So Sony are in a good position for that. But I do feel like the tide can change though.
It's
Oh, yeah,
a weird generation. This generation, like I think that's what both companies are starting to realize, and it's kind of stupid to say, but games aren't why people are buying these consoles anymore. Like a lot of people are buying consoles for different reasons, whether it be features or just word of mouth or perception of being for the gamer or just not being Microsoft. I'll come on and say it. So I mean,
Sony has the more powerful
That's
game.
strange.
I'm gonna say this: Sony, and look, this is strictly my opinion because I know this might be controversial, but Sony has the better gaming console, right? As far as power is concerned, right? But as far as like the best piece in the living room, it's nothing beating the Xbox One as a living room piece. Nothing.
You're about to get flamed.
Uh-oh.
There's nothing. Like, I mean, I don't see if you actually take yourself out of the console war, you own both consoles. Like, there's no way you can tell me that Xbox isn't a really good piece to deliver them over other consoles. So I can't really understand how. I mean, as a media hub, I mean, my cable is plugged into my Xbox, so maybe I see it differently, right? Maybe I see it differently because it controls my TV. But
Well, actually, I like to make a quick comment. I do have a friend that also picked up an Xbox One a couple days ago, and they just flat out said, "Man, this is the best entertainment system that I had never had the pleasure of owning." So they got the entertainment on lock. I think Tony would agree since he.
Yeah, I mean, I've only had this thing for a day, and I'm like, damn, this is a really good entertainment hub. Like, I didn't play games until today. I just been watching movies and shit. Like,
Oh my god!
I'm not even.
See, that's
lying.
part of the problem, I guess. Like, what the?
Yeah. No, but you're right. But I'm even concerned. Like, should I plug my cable box into this shit? There's like slots for everything. I'm like,
yes. I mean, do you have Kinect or no?
No, I'm fucking Kinect, man.
Okay,
You already know. You knew the answer to that. That ain't buying no thing.
I mean, you don't need Kinect to get the cool experience, but I mean,
Nah,
but
but
at the same
you're
time,
right, man. You're right. If you want like not just a console, but like an overall thing, Xbox is where it's at. That's just the truth.
Which is weird because you would think in today's world where people are buying products that do more than one thing, that would be an advantage for them. But it's not.
It's not. No.
But Charles has
It really
something to say.
I was just saying, it's subjective ultimately because a lot of people are unplugging from cable, so they have no use for having cable connection to their Xbox.
I'm one of them.
You know, if you use cable, then by all means use your Xbox One feature. That is cool. But like, if I worked at Best Buy when I'm in retail and shit, like when somebody come in, hey, which one of these should buy? Xbox is the best one. Get it. You didn't even ask what I. You didn't even ask what I need to use it for. It don't matter. It has all these features. Get that one. You can use your cable with it. Nigga, I don't have cable. I don't care. Xbox is the best one. It's over there to the left. Get your bundle. Holler at you. Like it's subjective, man. Like some people don't give a crap about that. Some people don't give a crap about the exclusives that are on there. And that's just the be all end all. And the link that you posted, that surprises the crap out of me. That PS4 was the highest at Best Buy. Just from what I saw when I was in the store, because there's a lot of Xboxes. Like when you checked out in the gaming section, I don't care what you went and got. When you checked out, it's Xboxes lining up, stacked on the table at the register. Like you got that PS4, but did you get your Xbox too? There wasn't no PS4s on the table at all. It was a straight Xbox. Like
They probably were. They sold out. Who knows?
Yeah, it was trippy because you got to stand in line by Xbox the whole time. Every step that you take, there's an Xbox right there in your face while you're waiting in line.
That reminds me of that Batman meme where like Batman's standing next to the stack of Xbox consoles.
Yeah,
it's trippy. But like, if PlayStation won at other retailers, it has to be like the whole popular console effect, where like, what do my friends have? Mm-hmm. Yeah, what do my friends have? I'm gonna go. Mom, I want this for Christmas because Gary down the street got his. He said it ain't no games on it, but he got one, so I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna play with him.
Like Gary from the UK.
Right?
Gary, son.
I want to talk about throwing subliminals over here. Oh, God. Good Lord.
Yeah,
Gary down Brighton Street, man.
But no, that's what I was saying. What Charles basically said. Like, honestly, we're at a point where none of that stuff matters. It's just like, well, Sony is selling because it's selling. And I'm not saying that to knock Sony. I'm saying congrats. And there's really not a whole lot Microsoft can do about that. You hold that L to your chest. That's what you do. You learn from this gen. You put out what you can. You start the foundation to maybe come out next gen, with whatever hybrid PC console that's going to be coming next gen as we get closer to PC console merging. And you knock it out the park. That's what Microsoft did. You have to hold your L and learn if you're Microsoft. That's it. There's no flipping the script. There's nothing you can do. It's done.
There's a
whole lot to learn. There's a whole lot to learn. That perception is key. Not quality, not what you actually have or do. It's perception. Sony has mastered that.
That's true.
It's your perception of your console that matters.
Right? The way they launched, the way they came out, right? Mm-hmm. That was the biggest, arguably, and I know that everybody has their own opinion. To me, the way they came out is what fucked them up overall in the long haul, right? And so if they never came out the way they did, where would they be at today?
Oh, way better.
Right?
Way better.
So I think that's the lesson to learn more than anything because at the end of the day, a lot of people are thinking that a lot of these other things are the reason why they're losing, but I think it's really strictly off of just public perception. I think you said that, right? So
yeah,
I think really that's.
It's funny to me though, because when you look at like a lot of the stuff that Microsoft said they were going to do, people were against it. It was anti-gamer. They didn't want a console that was primarily driven by digital sales and all that stuff. And 2 years into the market, digital sales have become even larger part of the sales of games and stuff like that, which is kind of what Microsoft's telling you was going to happen, and you just didn't want to hear it. But you're already buying games digitally that you can't sell, that you technically have to be online regularly to check in to play on both consoles. Nobody cares now, but 2 years ago, oh, that's anti-consumer. Microsoft's trying to take our games from us. We don't own them no more. That's what people were saying. And now they don't care. So it's like, what are you supposed to do? You're being honest about a direction you want to go in. People don't want to hear it, and then you see them 2 years later going in that direction. There's not a whole lot you can do about that. You just have to hold that out. And keep in mind, Microsoft didn't word things well, and they had some people speaking for them that should not have been speaking for them. Mr. Get a 360. Yeah, get his ass out of there. That's that shouldn't happen. He literally single-handedly fucked your company all up. Because whenever I hear fanboys talk about why they don't trust Microsoft, even when I lay out all these facts, they bring him up, and I got nothing. There's no defending that. There's no defending that. Like, you're right. That was stupid. Right. They got to hold that.
Okay.
Microsoft made a lot of mistakes, but my point is that even with those mistakes, they were saying things that were factually true of gaming now, and especially and where we're going into the future. But the perception, how people perceived and received that information, that's what mattered more than what Microsoft was actually trying to do and what Microsoft was saying. So now you got to realize it's a popularity contest. You come out with your next console, don't talk about the facts, okay? Don't be forward thinking. Make that shit sound cool, or at least cooler than everyone else. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's the thing though. Sony told everybody pretty much what they wanted to hear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft. Here's the funny thing: Microsoft, all that shit that Sony has done now, Microsoft said they were going to do it. It's just the way they phrased it. People didn't like. You just got to sugarcoat it. You're right about it. You can't be direct with people. You got to like not lie, but just gloss it over a little bit. Like
also, Microsoft has got to stop letting Sony have their conference like 6 or 7 hours after them every year at E3. That is stupid. They're going to keep making you look dumb every year.
I don't know if they have control over that.
Oh, they better get some control over it. You better talk about we'll have a conference the day after. We'll have our conference after E3. I don't know why they don't do that, because I'm telling you, if you keep letting Sony go after you, hours after you, they're just going to watch your conference and make flyby changes and make you look silly.
Well, hold on. A question. Wasn't it reversed before where Xbox
was it?
Yeah, wasn't it a reverse before, or has it always been Xbox goes first and then Sony?
To my knowledge, it's always been Xbox first.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
they
always
were
been
always
Xbox first. Yeah.
Okay, all right,
way
okay.
first for some reason. I don't know why, but it's just not working for them. Because even last year, when they had better conferences than Sony, it really didn't matter because Sony was able to at least, lessen the blow with some huge announcements of games they knew weren't coming for another 10 years, but they
Yes.
dropped them there anyway because they had to. So, I mean, I don't know. Microsoft, they've got a lot to learn. They need some new blood there. I'm hoping they're taking notes, like Phil said, see it happening. He's not gonna lie to you. I didn't see it happening either. I saw the blood on the wall. It's an L. Just learn from it.
Okay, so the very last topic to discuss, staying on the topic of PlayStation, maybe some of you can tell me if you experienced this issue. I wasn't on PlayStation Network yesterday, but apparently there was some issues on Black Friday with the stability of the network. So, do any of you guys experience this problem?
Nope. I was on PSN till like almost 3 a.m. last night. No issues at all. I was in a party chat. I was looking at shit in the store. No problems. Like, I wasn't playing a game online, I'll give you that, but all the other features worked just fine. Like, if it was like a system-wide shutdown, wouldn't everything be shut down? So,
Yeah, it should be.
on my end, it was fine, so I didn't experience that. But I know some people on Twitter were going off. They were pissed.
Yes.
Oh, it was.
Yes.
Oh.
I couldn't connect to a party. I was just gonna get on a party to talk to my friends before I played some Smite. I couldn't connect.
Wow.
But according to those same friends, PSN went back online like shortly after that, so they were able to get on. So I don't know. I think there was like rolling outages across the country or the globe. I don't know. So, but yeah, there were people I know who had issues. I only had momentary issues with it. So
Wait, so what was the cause of this?
I'm assuming just a whole bunch of people getting PS4s and servers getting overloaded. I don't know.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen on Christmas Day?
Oh God! Don't even give you.
You
Don't
know what happened last year. Last year,
that might be a
Xbox
time
One-
to spend time with your family because you're not gonna be on PSN on Christmas. I'm telling you this now.
PlayStation and Xbox had issues last
Both
Christmas.
systems.
Last year,
Yeah,
both
both
of them,
systems.
Yeah.
Just you say hi to your aunt that you haven't seen in years. Actually talk to her for a while. Give both systems servers some time to get acclimated to the new users, and then try to go back online because Christmas Day you're not playing, dude. I'm not. I know I'm sleeping my ass the whole Christmas Day. I'm not waking up. Nope. No point in being mad that I can't do anything online on my console. So get some good sleep.
We'll see. All right. Any final thoughts, Gary? You were saying something. So you had a question.
Yeah, I mean, I own a PS4. It's the only console I own at the moment. So, I am happy to see, Sony doing well and that they've sold 30 million and everything. I just wanted to ask one question though. Should we feel confident when the guy from Sony himself says that he doesn't know why the console is selling so much?
Yes.
Well, I guess that's
good point.
that I guess as Charles would say that right there is another passage from the troll book.
Oh my God!
I mean, let's not don't fool yourself, man. That dude knows exactly why. It's brand power. I think PlayStation brand. It's like Coca-Cola, man. You know what I mean? And so the brand is selling it right now.
Pepsi's better.
I think that's what it's all about.
You would like Pepsi. Fucking diabetes juice. That shit is horrible for you.
Oh, ooh.
Better than that acid shit that Coke is.
I
Man.
mean, they're both horrible. I mean, you're right. They're both horrible. I can't even argue, really. So, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, hey, that pretty much concludes it for this week. As everybody knows, next week is the Game Awards and PlayStation Experience. So I'm pretty sure
we're gonna get destroyed in the comments section. Like, why are we doing this to ourselves? You know what's going to happen on the Game Awards. Like, when people on the site list their game, and you know what's going to happen in the comments section. Right?
No. I'm pretty sure that we'll have a lot of great reveals to talk about. I don't care so much about the awards. But
glorified fucking 2-hour commercial, that bullshit.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying the comment section, when we talk about that and give our ideas for what should have been listed and stuff, like, it's going to be war. Like it's literally going to be like you better start getting your weapons ready, get the bandages set to the side, and we're gonna lose some loved ones in this. This is gonna be rough.
It'll be
It's
all
gonna
right.
be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. I love discussing that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
This is what it's gonna be, a discussion, not fanboy wars and trolling. All right,
Yeah.
this will work.
Yeah, and I believe that there's also going to be a stream of the PlayStation experience the following day, so we'll have a lot to talk about next week. Whatever reveals that don't leak before we actually have the show. Yeah.
Would it be nice if like they got to announce all these things and certain websites didn't leak all this stuff before it happened? NeoGaf?
That's going to happen. Regardless, that will happen. So, any final shout-outs you guys want to give? How about you go first, Tony?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to the Xbox community for welcoming me and stuff.
Oh my god!
I'm not even lying. Dude, I got like 20 new followers, and they were all congratulating me. Thank you. Like, you got an Xbox. Congratulations. All this shit. I'm like, okay, thanks, guys. I expected some shit like, oh, you motherfucker, you finally like got some sense into your head, huh? You finally got an Xbox, motherfucker. No, they were cool, welcoming dudes. So yeah, shout out to the Xbox.
Social media was saying people were hurt, dude, that you got an Xbox.
Oh yeah, I want to give a shout out to those guys too.
Oh my god.
Some people were like, oh, like Rico, I know he was joking. He was like, oh, we lost a good man. I'm like, I got 58 platinums. I'm not going anywhere from Sony. Right? Don't worry about that.
So I was like, I trusted you. You were the chosen one. I'm like, what the fuck? Yo, it ain't real like that.
Yeah. And obviously, I want to give a shout out to all the fans in the comment section and stuff. You're gonna get something you wanted for a month. Somebody's getting the axe for a month, man. Fuck that. Well, that's all I gotta say.
Okay, how about you, Mr. Singletary?
Many thanks to everyone that watched the show and hit the comment section. Things have been very interesting down there as of late. So many comments, and I haven't been able to read everything, but it's been a lot of fun. It's always fun to do the show.
We got Mike A in the fucking comments now, son.
Yeah.
In real life there.
Just arguing with the same fanboys over and over again. I need to stop doing that. I need to go back to my rules.
But of course, if you like games, buy games, no matter what you're buying them on. And a special shout out to people that own Nintendo stuff, because there's some people in this particular show tonight that don't give them respect, because apparently it doesn't matter how much quality you put into your first-person titles, it doesn't matter. Even though people complain. Hold on, not you, Mike. It's not you. Yeah, calm down. Because no matter how much you put into your first-person content and how much you try to actively copy things, it's never going to be enough, and you're going to get shit on. But, hey, people that's playing Xenoblade Chronicles X, shout out to y'all, because I really wish I was playing it right now.
Yeah, and Nintendo, how's that working out for you sales-wise?
Oh, whoa.
This man Tony was shade. This big-ass tree, dude.
Wait, hold. All that shade, last time I checked, I don't think they were in the red financially, so I don't know. It seems like they're doing all right with me.
Okay, well, they ain't selling like fucking Halo and shit, are they?
Hey, how many Vita Sony putting out right now?
You ain't got to go. You ain't see now.
Yeah. How many PS4s they putting out though?
Okay.
It's so stupid that it doesn't work both ways. Why does it not?
Yes, it does work both ways, because if we're talking about the totality of the company, who is outselling who? Come on now.
Tony, I already told you. It's an absolute fact. This is not an opinion. Nintendo has more consoles sold if you count their mobile stuff. I told you this already. That's not an opinion. It's a fact. All of their numbers.
This is why you have to have rules to an engagement between two gentlemen. You can't just you can't punch people. You can't punch people. You can't
Here's the thing. This ain't even a bunny thing. There are tweets. It's text. It's not deleted. You can read it.
Yeah, it's all there. Nobody deletes it.
It's all there. He knew what I was gonna say. He knew what my argument and my stance was on this, because he said you got to count the entire company. I didn't say that. Charles didn't say it. Tony walked into that trap. Tony walked into that same trap that Damien walked on in that show and took that L. That big old beautiful one.
This man think he LL Hooja. He got a catalog of L's. He beat the people in beefs in and stuff. Like, what are you talking about?
Hey, Mama said knock you out.
Hey Charles, let me ask a question. How's that Wii U for you, man? How you enjoying it?
It's perfectly fine. How's the Vita?
Wait, you have a Wii U?
I can pull out my Vita right now. I own a Vita. Do you own a Wii U?
No, I'm buying one for during the holidays when it's on sale cheaper.
Why the hell are you buying a Wii U in 2015?
Because
No,
because I want Xenoblade Chronicles on that fucking Wii U.
You
I've talked
realize
about
the
this.
I'm
next
just saying you're
thing
such a
very soon,
fervent
and you can just
protector of
play it.
Nintendo.
And then pause. Hold on. You're gonna take shots at me not having a Wii U right now. You have a Vita and haven't been playing it, but there's people that enjoy
Yeah, but I
that shit
still
too.
bought it though, man. My point is, if you're defending Nintendo so much, if you're defending Nintendo so much, why
Your
don't
point.
That's what I'm saying,
No,
man.
it's because we're supposed to be talking unbiased about all these companies. I'm
Who
not
said
talking
that?
about. No, I'm saying that right now.
I mean, I tried,
Yeah.
but even I've washed my hands of
Hey,
Nintendo.
there's
I
some
can't.
things that people take
Nintendo
L's with.
wash
All
the
these
hands of
companies.
us, man.
Here's the thing: everybody takes L's, and it seems like everybody's cool with admitting that Sony takes a couple L's and Microsoft takes a couple L's, but they win in certain things. But for some reason, Tony will not give Nintendo a win to save his fucking life. If
I
he's
just
dying,
did.
he can have cancer.
Who has more exclusives? Who has more exclusives? Nintendo. There. I just gave him something.
I mean, let's keep it real. If you take the 3DS out of the equation, how many L's or how many W's did Nintendo have? Right
Yeah.
Not many. Not many at all.
That's where the point's coming from, because I can't think of one.
But it's crazy because you sit there and you're like, if you take their win away, how many wins do they have? Well, if you take Sony's win away, how many wins do they have? Like, it makes no sense. They win, they print money.
I can see that actually.
We've talked about it.
Vita would be an L for them. So if you took the PS4 out of the equation, they just have the Vita, and that's not a good look.
And you do not want to just have the Vita. Nobody.
Yeah.
But there you go, Charles. I gave him something. They have more exclusives than everybody else. There you go.
And you're gonna be tweeting. You're gonna be tweeting that nonsense in about 10 minutes. I'm just waiting for it. He's gonna regress right back into it.
I said it. They do have more exclusives, but that's helping them outsell Microsoft and Sony. That's what I'm saying.
Nintendo Defender on the podcast. We've come full circle in 2015. This has been a very fun year.
Yes. Okay. Anthony Fraser, any final words?
Yeah. Shout out to the listeners. Shout out to the family on the podcast. Shout out to Sony. You know, proud of you, proud dad. Shout out to Microsoft, man. You know,
Evolve. What the fuck?
Get a Mexican tiger. That's about it, man. Peace.
All right. So how about you, Gary? Final words, shout outs?
Yeah, shouts to the listeners and shouts to you guys. And Charles actually did make a great point, because Nintendo do have, they do put a lot of work into their first party lineup, and I think Sony needs to kind of take note on that, and maybe they can make 20 more Ratchet and Clanks.
Oh,
told you.
Just to compete with Mario.
With the amount of Mario games.
I told you, Shade. I said Shade incoming. I saw it as soon as you mentioned it. I was like,
what is Media Molecule up to?
Dreams.
They're making dreams.
So
game,
nothing, essentially nothing.
That's the game that should be titled Nightmares. Yeah, that's the game they were working on.
You can't have a co-op without a Rich Bailey one.
Right? Like, oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord! I'm like, man. Whew.
We'll see. So Gary, that's it for your shout outs?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so I like to give a shout out to the fans. Tony made history this week when he purchased an Xbox One. So allow me to say that allow me to say that I will be making history as well soon when I purchase something else. So I'm not going to tell y'all what it is yet.
He's buying a Wii U, people. He's buying a Wii U.
Well, I'm not going to confirm or deny that, but stay tuned. You'll get an answer before the year is over. That's it for this week's show. We'll talk to you guys next week.